welcome to the Coach Gary Goff Show. I'm Matt Kibler. I'll be your host this evening, subbing in for Russ Snyder, a little banged up this evening, but I'll host this show. And Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good deal. I'm not too bad myself. A little nervous at first. Haven't done a live event in a little while, so I'm glad to be here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Tiffin, Ohio. And a team coming off a big win last Saturday. Went up to North Canton, Ohio, and got a 35-7 victory. And coming off a big win the prior week, you did a good job keeping your team focused on what needed to be done last week.
Yeah, that was our talk all week. And, I think it's just natural for coaches to worry about things. And we definitely worried about having a letdown game. But, couldn't be more happier with the young men for the way they handled the week. Really the way they've handled themselves the last 4 weeks. But there was no letdown, obviously, last Saturday. We went out there and attacked for 4 quarters and came away with a big win.
One of the keys was you got out early and you got on the board quick. And once if you keep a team around that hasn't won a game yet, they tend to build confidence as the game goes on. But you guys did a nice job of getting the early scores, and then you got some early turnovers as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think we all know that every time we've traveled to Canton, it's been a unbelievable contest, no matter who we're playing in that city. But exactly right. We went out there and took care of business from the first snap to the last, and played a very good football team with some minimal mistakes here and there. But obviously very happy about that, and we put that win behind us on the way back Saturday night and started looking ahead Sunday.
How nice was it, though, there in that fourth quarter, to be able to get some of the younger guys in that game? I noticed you were able to get some younger offensive linemen in. You subbed in a new quarterback. You had got some time as well, and some running backs. Al Haynes had some time as well. That's a luxury you haven't had yet this season.
I don't know if we ever had that luxury, do we? But no, it was nice. We played a lot of young men in the game, and kind of funny with Al. He's a hard worker, great young man. There's a question mark whether he's going to travel or not, and we decided there Friday we were going to travel him. And then you look up, he gets in the game in the fourth quarter, and I think he rushed for just under 40 yards on a couple of carries. So.
You look good. Well, Coach, let's go ahead and let's take a look back at that game. We'll recap the scoring. We've got the plays on the board. You get on the board first there in the first quarter, a 7-minute, 42-second mark in that contest. A 12-play drive, 74 yards, took 5:54 off the clock, and it's Jaquan Hardy from 2 yards out. Let's go ahead and take a listen and a look.
Jordan Nobles will go in motion. Pipkin on a shovel pass, and then walking in. I think that's Jaquan Hardy.
It is. And it was Jaquan Hardy there with the touchdown. So a nice shovel pass there from Pipkin to Hardy. I've seen you guys work that in a couple times this season.
Yeah, it's been a good play for us down there on the goal line. With an athletic quarterback that everybody fears that can take off and run it in, and plus with a trailing, tailback right there. Did a good job. It's been a great play for us all season.
Yeah, there in the first quarter as well at the 1:15 mark. Jaquan Hardy again goes in for the score. This time he elects to take it in on his own on the ground.
Handoff, Hardy up the middle.
Yes.
This way he's got another one. Yes, he does. 2 yards out. Jaquan Hardy is the second touchdown of the game.
And Jaquan Hardy on that run, like we said, from 2 yards out, gives the Dragons a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, great thing about Jaquan, he's a very powerful back. Did a great job of getting the line, push him in the end zone right there. I told him not to make me nervous right there. He tried to stretch the ball out over the goal line and fumbled it right there, but thank God he crossed the goal line before the ball was turned over. So,
and sticking with the Hardy theme, he went for 100 yards. The first time in his career he's rushed for over 100 yards. He did everything. He caught a touchdown pass. He rushed for a touchdown, went over for 100 yards. Him and Brunson and Jerry Brown, it's depth that you haven't had in the 6 seasons you've been here.
No, we are very potent in the backfield
you
right
are.
now.
Yes, you are.
All 3 backs have had great games for us, and competition makes everybody better, right? And that is definitely the case right there in our backfield. And, Jerry Brown's been a steady workhorse for us. And then the 2 young guys are scoring. I think they've both, got about 5 touchdowns apiece on the season already in rushing and receiving. So, it's a dangerous backfield for us, and it's helped our passing game and really taking some pressure off our quarterback.
Our next call we have, I believe, Coach Edwards' defense comes up big for you.
And our first play back out of the timeout. It's going to be a throw down the middle of the field and picked off by the Dragons. Sean Scott goes up and gets it as the ball hung up and gave Scott punch.
So you get a pick there. Sean Scott comes over the top, makes the play from his cornerback spot, and it sets you guys up for eventually another score.
I'll tell you what, Sean Scott has really answered the call.
He's matched up on all the number ones for the opposing teams, it seems like thus far.
He's a long, rangy DB. He's very physical. We joke with him all the time because he's very even keel. We tell him that Christmas morning he's probably not excited, and then if he was to lose his dog or something, he's not very sad. He's always even keel. But he has had some great football games the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's very exciting to see him go out there and compete. And, he's one of the best corners in the conference, and I think the other corner we have is as well. Yeah. So, defense right there with those two guys, they've helped us tremendously, and that was a big, big turnover for us early in the ball game.
And one of my memories is Sean Scott went out to McKendree that first year. It was their freshman season. Him and Vinnie Jones always sat together, I remember. And it's just to see the transformation. It seems like they've been here forever since we went to McKendree, but that sticks out in my mind. Those two always hung out together, and it does seem like they've been here a while, but thankfully they're on our side. And I believe the next highlight we have is Charles Holland. Again, another touchdown. Had a big game against Ashland, and he does so again against Walsh.
Third down play. Pipkin throwing towards the corner. Going to get it. It was caught.
Yes.
Who is that, Charles?
That is Charles.
Charles Holland from 9 yards out from
That is Charles Holland there with his first touchdown reception from 9 yards out from Antonio Pipkin, a 5-play drive. Took 2:20 off the clock, put you up 21-0.
Yeah, a great throw and catch right there. We got singled up right there with Charles, which is always should be in our favor. And, Antonio made a great throw in the back of the end zone, and Charles made a diving catch. And it's always good when those two hook up.
Well, seeing that highlight makes it look easy, but if people were there, they'd actually see that the wind was probably blowing 20, 25 miles an hour. So, like you said, Pipkin threw a good ball, and anytime you get it to Charles, you're probably in safe hands.
Well, we're in Ohio, so we're used to throwing in the wind.
That's right. And the next highlight, I believe, is another one of Coach Edwards' DBs coming up with a pick.
Fake handoff. He wants to throw it. Pass is intercepted at the 49-yard line. Carrington Conti, who just checked in, and the Dragons defense.
Yeah, Carrington steps in front of the tight end on that play on, I believe, a 3rd or 4th down situation and gets you guys the ball back again.
You know what stuck out in my mind on that play right there is we had, I think, Juan come off the field with a helmet issue, and Conti had to run onto the field, and he got that interception that very next play.
Russ said the same thing right in the middle of the game. He said, poor Juwan. He comes off the field for one play, and his teammate Conti goes in and makes the interception.
Well, it's kind of been our motto all season is next man up, next man's got to be ready. And what a great play for Carrington to come off the field, off the sideline, get on the field and make an interception right then and there. And another big turnover. Our defense got us the ball.
So up 21-0. The Dragons strike again. 3rd quarter this time. 12:28 on the clock. And again, it's Charles Holland in on the action.
3rd down 5. Pipkin wants to throw. Fires down the seam.
There's Holland. Come on.
To the 20-15 on his feet into the end zone. Charles Holland, 38 yards out.
And Charles Holland, 38-yard reception as he was wide open. Both the DBs bite on the underneath route, and Charles walks it in.
Yeah, they just a blown assignment right there in the secondary, and it was a pretty easy throw and catch for those two. We work on that all the time. So great drive right there, and with 7 points.
So with your defense holding a shutout in the 3rd quarter, at least almost the whole way through the 3rd quarter, it is Walsh that gets on the board next. They score, make it a 28-7 game, but it's the Dragons with the last laugh as Kyle Brunson is next up. And Kyle Brunson on the rushing touchdown from 4 yards out, and it puts you guys up 35-7, ultimately where the game would end up.
Yeah, nice thing about that drive right there is very proud of the offense of coming back and answering. We had a turnover the previous series, which put our defense in a bad situation, and they were able to get on the board. But, we came right back out and scored in 5 plays. And, that started with Jaquan Hardy, had a nice long run right there. And then we got Brunson right back on the field. He had 2 nice runs and ended up scoring. So, very proud of the way they responded.
Yeah, both your running backs had very good games, like you talked about. Hardy, 11 carries, 123 yards, and Brunson, 8 carries for 50 yards. And that was it. That was the end of the scoring for both sides, a 35-7 victory. You put Walsh down to 0-6. You guys moved to 4-2. And like you spoke about earlier, it was a big win from the standpoint that it could have been a letdown coming off a big win against the number 4 team in the nation.
Well, yeah. Again, that's something that I think every coach worries about because it was such a big emotional win for us the previous week. And, but they handled business all week. They stayed very focused and went out and took care of business there Saturday. And we were able to get a lot of young guys in the game, and we played several different offensive linemen there in that 4th quarter. Jahad Virtue, our backup quarterback, got in and got some game action, threw a couple of nice balls. Clarence Turner made a nice catch on the final drive right there to really ice the game and run out the clock. So, it was a great team win, and it was a nice way to get a lot of guys on the field playing. And when everybody gets into the game with a big victory, everybody's happy, and all the families are happy afterwards. So,
now, from your standpoint, is it tougher from a strategy and coaching position to prepare for a team such as Ashland, who's fourth in the nation, or is it tougher for you to manage your team the previous week after coming off a win in which you're trying to not have a letdown?
Well, I think everything's a challenge when you're dealing with young student athletes, and lots of times football's the last thing on their mind. There's a lot of other things on their mind, but so I don't know how to answer your question there. I think every aspect of our job, whether getting them ready, keeping them focused, getting them up for a big-time game, getting them up to go play a team that might not be as talented, it's all a challenge, and it's all really irrelevant when you think about the most important thing is how Tiffin University plays. It's how we are going to play the game, and we tell them all the time, let's not disrespect the game. Let's make sure we go out there and we're in attack mode for 60 minutes, and we play extremely hard and have a lot of fun doing it. Because if you can't do those things, then why are you playing to begin with?
Exactly. So who you got coming on the show tonight?
We're going to bring our offense coordinator, quarterbacks coach, Adam Neugebauer, on the show, and then he's going to bring Antonio Pipkin on. And
let's have him come on up. Let's get Antonio Pipkin and the offensive coordinator Adam Neugebauer up here, the offensive minded coach on the squad. He's got a 4-year starter at quarterback, Mr. Antonio Pipkin, as the field general. So it's nice to have that 4-year starter. You brought him in. He got a lot of playing time early, and then now you can he starts to see, and both you see the benefits of having that early playing time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Pipkin will come in now and he breaks down film just like we do, and he'll come in and say, hey, did y'all see this? Did y'all see that? And, he knows how we think, and we've been with him for 4 years now, so it makes it easier.
Pipkin, nice to see you on the show tonight.
Nice to see you.
Coach Neugebauer, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. So let's talk about that win, 35 points, another 30-plus point performance from you guys. What seemed to work from your standpoint, Antonio?
The run game is clicking real well. All guys doing their job, executing on every play. We stay focused the whole time. Our energy from the snap, from the first play of the game all the way to the fourth quarter, we're locked in.
Is it weird for you occasionally to have to turn around and give?
I mean, in the past year, sometimes we're playing from behind, so you got to put it in the air more. It's nice to have a nice run game, nice running backs, guys to compliment Jerry Brown and stuff, things like that. Nice O-line to block. And it's nice to have a run game.
It saves your body a little bit more as well from taking some of those hits. Offensive line's done a nice job keeping you dry as well. Coach Neugebauer, from your standpoint, the offense last Saturday, what seemed to work from where you were out there in the booth?
We knew Walsh was going to give us a lot of different looks. We just wanted to execute each play, and that's what we did. We executed, and that really showed that we could, just play ball. That's all we stressed that all week. Just play ball, have fun, no matter what they give, just execute, and we did that.
We'll move on to now, Pipkin, your career here at Tiffin University. You've set numerous records, a university record. I know you're a very humble, hardworking young man. Why don't you talk about, was it harder for you physically or mentally to process early? What was the hardest thing for you going forward in your career? Was it the weightlifting? Was it the running? Or was it more of the game plan to be able to read defenses as you went on? What was the tougher transition to make?
The toughest transition had to be studying film, weightlifting, things like that. The physical ability, that's all about your work ethic, and I think I got that. The toughest part had to be studying film, understanding, putting the time in, and being with coach and being locked in on the same page with your coaching staff, and basically studying film, knowing what they're going to do before they do it.
Knowing how tough that was there ever a point, where was the point at where it just clicked? You said that was it. All the studying and everything, all the preparation you did in game, was there ever a point where it just clicked for you? Like, I saw that coming. That was all study right there.
Oh, yeah, multiple times in most of the games. Probably last season, last 3 games, we locked in real well as a unit offensively, and everything clicked well. We lost a couple games, but we were locked in. And probably last season, when it clicked, like, this is all from film study.
Coach, you were going to say something?
Well, I think the challenge for quarterbacks, especially at the collegiate level, is they were usually the best player in their high school team, and they're used to doing everything. One of the challenges he had early on in his career was coming here and understanding I've got a lot of talent around me. I don't have to do everything by myself. I need to rely on my backs, my receivers, my offensive line, and everybody involved. And the last 2 seasons he's done that, and I think it's really opened up his game, and that's what really makes him dangerous is he understands I can use everybody around me instead of trying to take on everything. As a true freshman, remember his first time he got in a game was at Grand Valley, and right there he was like, watch me, guys. I can throw it 80 yards, and I can run for 100. And we're like, hey, you can't always be that way.
You can try, though, right? Give it a shot. Coach Nugebauer, you yourself being a quarterback, when you look at Antonio, going into the season, what was one thing you really harped on him after what he had done last season? Was there anything mechanically or mentally that you said, we've got to work on this? If you can do this, we'll be very successful this season.
I think he's very gifted at moving in the pocket. That's something he naturally has. I don't really have to coach that with him. He just has that. He can feel the pressure and avoid contact. He gets out of a lot of sacks for us naturally. His biggest, toughest one coming into camp was staying in the pocket and looking at your progressions, and he has shown that he can do that this year. So defenses can't just go, let's make him run. Well, now they got to know he's staying in the pocket delivering the ball, so now it's more dangerous now than ever because he's, a dual threat. So that's something he's definitely worked on.
His stats show it, over 60% completion percentage, almost 10,000 yards passing. You've had an outstanding career. It's been nice to watch it from our standpoint as well. When you look ahead to the Michigan Tech team, is there anything you've seen on film that has you concerned, or what do they do defensively?
Oh, that's a good group of guys over there. They play extremely hard. A lot of good guys all over the field. They're flying around. They seem like they have each other's back. They're on the same page a lot. Very disciplined defense. They're gonna get to where they need to be, and they're gonna be there when they need to be there. So as far as that, that's always dangerous when you have a disciplined defense like that, because trick plays, things like that, just doesn't work. Double moves, things like that. But overall, that's a disciplined group of guys over there, and we're ready to attack.
You're only surrendering 23 points per game, 368 yards per game. They've had a tough schedule. We talked about it earlier. They could easily have a better record than they do. Just a couple unfortunate plays.
Yeah, they're about 2 snaps away from being 4-1 right now. And, Coach Curley's done a great job up there. They are very talented, hard-working young men that are coached very well. So it's going to be a challenge. Nobody likes that bus trip that they're making probably right now, and we're thankful to be at home, but that doesn't mean it's going to be an easy game by no means because, they're used to this. They've traveled quite a bit, and, they've played for the conference championship many times since I've been here at Tiffin, and they've been in the playoffs many times. So it's a well-established program, and we got our work cut out for us Saturday.
And Coach Nugebauer, you look back at last season, you guys had a lot of success up there in Houghton, put up 38 points on them. Is there anything from that game that you can take away from that game and maybe employ upon this coming Saturday?
I think last year we just took what the defense gave us. We study film just like they do, and they came out in something that we expected, and then some stuff we didn't expect, so we had to adjust. And we just got to play our game and adjust when they adjust, and make sure that we stay level-headed and go out and play hard and attack at all times. And I think it's going to be very very successful day if we do that.
Antonio, obviously you throw for many yards as you have. You got to have a good relationship with your wideouts. Talk a little bit about the relationship you've had with all your wide receivers throughout your career. I know Charles talked about it last week. You live with him. I see Jalen right here getting a good chuckle out of it.
Well, Charles moved in with him.
Oh,
Charles might be the smartest.
Well, Charles is smart, yeah. He wants the ball. Give him the ball, right? He knows where to go to get the ball.
Oh, absolutely. Me and the receivers and I, we're all on the same page majority of the time. When those guys think that they have an idea that'll work, they bring it to me, bring it to coach, and we all just kind of talk it out. And we're never really like, oh, I think this will work. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my own thing. We all kind of agree upon one thing, and we just go out and execute that one thing. And that's good when you can have a group of guys all be on the same page majority of the time.
Well, and they were all here all summer.
That's
great.
All
summer long,
yeah.
Lifting together, throwing together. So, that chemistry right there between them all goes a long way.
Yeah, not only is he a great player on the field, but you got to be proud of what he is off the field. Very good character. I saw you being a part of the Make-A-Wish, which is coming up in a couple games. Why don't you talk about his character off the field and in the classroom?
He's been a great leader for us. On campus, he is kind of the one guy that corrals some of the younger guys. Says, hey, man, we don't act that way. And, just to see him mature and grow up over the last 4 years has been a lot of fun. He comes from a great family, and his mother is outstanding. And, sometimes in the recruiting process, that I get it. It's hard to send your son off to somebody and hope that, they take care of him. But we got a young man that was a great person from the get-go. And, lots of times that goes a lot farther than their talent level ever will. So, he's been a lot of fun to coach. We still got 5 more weeks left and go from there. But, we'll look back and reflect more when we're done playing. We're not done playing yet. We got a lot of football ahead of us.
Yeah, yes, you do. You do have 5 games left. Dragons 4-2 on the season. Coach Neugebauer, Antonio, I'd like to thank you guys for coming on the show with us tonight. Best of luck Saturday, and let's get another win. I'd like that.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Well, that's quarterback Antonio Pipkins, senior for the Dragons. He's done it all here in his time here at Tiffin University. Coach, we're going to talk a little bit about Michigan Tech's offense. We've yet to talk about that. We talked about their defense, but offensively, Brandon Cowie leads them. He was their quarterback last year. He was a wide receiver early on, transferred to quarterback. Let's talk about his progression from year 1 as a quarterback to year 2.
Well, he's a dual threat quarterback himself. Obviously he played receiver and was a really good receiver. He was an all-conference receiver before he became quarterback. But he's dangerous. He can make the throws. He's a very good runner. They like to use him in the run game quite a bit. And they're going to look for matchups. They do a little bit of RPO, which everybody in the country is doing now. But he's a handful. We've been worried about him all week, but we got to go out there and play assignment football on the defensive side because of that young man. He's a talent.
I've noticed when I was doing the football notes, Michigan Tech likes to throw the football to their backs a lot. Their running back, especially their fullback, I noticed their running back has a couple touchdown passes. Is that more of a play action, or is that just designed that way?
Well, no, it's designed that way. Again, they do a lot of the RPO stuff. Okay. So their backs are involved. They're going to get multiple sets. They're going to shift him out from the backfield. They'll put receivers in the backfield. I mean, they do it all. They try to make it hard on you and prepare. And so that's why we got to go out and play assignment football because you have no idea what they're going to throw at you.
And you talked about Coach Curley, the good job he's done up there. His team's only committed 12 penalties for 109 yards this season, the least penalized team in the nation, and that's huge.
It's cold up there. You're not going to throw the flag up there right now.
It's keep cold. That clock. That's why I like to run the ball too, right? You got to keep the clock moving and keep the yellow hankies off the field. Let's talk about your special teams real quick. Owen Courtwright, he's doing the job. He did real well kicking into that wind.
Owen has come on. I tell you what, the first game of the season, I think everybody was looking like, who's the kicker? It's not that guy. It can't be that guy. But you got to understand that guy. He's straight out of high school. He's worried about Friday nights and the after party dance.
That's a rough atmosphere to go into.
And to go into Grand Valley and play in that atmosphere for your first game, what an eye opener for him. But ever since then, he has really grown up and accepted the challenge. And we tell him every kick, every game, every week, hey, just go out there and kick the ball like you know how, because he is a very, very talented kicker, and he was highly recruited by a lot of people. So I know Wayne State's still mad that we got him on our team. So he's very capable. I really think that he's going to be one of the best kickers ever come out of Tiffin University before it's all said and done. And that's saying a lot, because just a year ago we had Tomislav, who was second in the nation in scoring.
Yeah, that is correct. Your special team's done a nice job. He's 11 of 12 on point after attempts, 37 yards per punt. He's sixth in the GLIAC in kickoffs as well. It seems like the kickoff department has really took that and ran with it. A lot of touchbacks here lately as well.
That's one unit right there that has done a great job the last 3 or 4 weeks. I tell you what, they are racing each other down there, and we got like a candy bar special for if we get the tackle inside the 20. And I think poor Coach Eisen spent most of his paycheck on candy bars the last couple of weeks. But that unit right there has done a great job of hustling down the field, and it all starts with a kicker right there, getting that ball in the end zone and try to pin them deep.
Well, hopefully you can keep that up this Saturday as the Dragons will bring in the Michigan Tech Huskies. It's Saturday at 1:30 p.m. at Frost Cow Stadium. Coach, once again, we'll see you next Thursday here. I hope you bring home another win, and best of luck.
Appreciate it.
That's the Coach Gary Goff Show. I'm Matt Killer, Assistant Sports Information Director at Tiffin University, and this is the Coach Gary Goff Show at Buffalo Wild Wings in Tiffin, Ohio. Until next Thursday, see you later.